Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how to install yt-dlp and aria2 on Windows 11 using chocolatey. First of all, yt-dlp is a fork of yt-dl which hasn't been updated since June, and chocolatey is a package manager for Windows that makes it easier to install applications. So first of all, you want to come across to the chocolatey.org site and then go to Get Started and have a look at the install. So this is the install instructions that you can basically follow along. So after you've installed chocolatey by following these instructions, what we're going to do is open a PowerShell as administrator. And we're now going to install the packages. I've already installed yt-dlp, but I'll show you how to search for the packages first of all. So we run choco, search yt-dlp, and give it a second, and you'll see here that it's listed, and we can install that by doing choco install yt-dlp. As I said, I've already installed this, so the next step is going to be installing aria2, which is a download manager that works in conjunction with yt-dlp to actually improve the download speeds. So choco search aria2, and you'll see it's listed here, aria2. So we can install that by running choco install aria2. And it's going to prompt you to accept the license, so just do A, and that's going to install. So this is the yt-dlp site, which has actually just been updated a couple of days ago, the application. These are the differences and some new options. It's fixed a lot of bugs. There's a bug with yt-dl that throttles the downloads to 50 kilobits on some sites at the moment, and it hasn't been fixed. So basically, if you're using yt-dl, you want to switch to yt-dlp. Now, this is aria2, which is it's basically a downloader, and it supports multiple file types, including BitTorrent. And as I said, it can be used in conjunction with yt-dlp to actually improve the download speeds by opening multiple connections. So what it will do is you can set it to open, for example, 3 connections. And basically what it will then do is it will basically triple your download speed. So what we've done is install the packages. So what we're going to do next is actually create the config files for these, and I'll show you the location. So what we're going to do is come across to the Windows Start menu thing and type APPDATA like that, and you'll see file folder, and you'll see here it's opening this folder. So what I believe we need to do is create a yt-dlp and an aria2 folder in here, and then copy the configuration files across. So what we'll do is do new folder yt-dlp, and again we'll create another folder called aria2. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is download my configuration for yt-dl and aria2, and let's see if it works on Windows. So here we have my yt-dlp config, and what we need to do is we come across here to raw. So whenever you're downloading something from GitHub, click the raw button, and that will take you to a page that says raw.github-user-content.com and the rest of the URL. We can now save this. We're going to save this as config to our downloads, and we're going to do the same for the aria2 configuration. Come across to the raw and save this, and it should be aria2.conf. Okay, so now we've done that, what we're going to do is close the browser and try and copy those files into place and see if it actually picks up those changes. So let me open another one of these. The downloads. Okay, so here's the yt-dlp folder. So I'm going to copy the config into the yt-dlp and come across into aria2 and copy the aria2 configuration into there. And now, basically, what that does is, in my yt-dlp config, I'm setting aria2 as a external downloader. So what I'm going to do is actually open the browser up again, and I'm going to download a open source, not an open source, a video that is in the public domain. So I'm going to come across to archive.org, and let's look for Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So right, what we have here is the individual files here we can actually download. You can also download a torrent of this. And again, this is a video that is in the public domain, so there's no copyright issues. So I'm going to copy that link. Now, I don't need to be administrator to do that, to do this. So open the Windows terminal, and that will open the PowerShell. And I'll come to the CD on this one. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do now is run yt-dlp and just paste in that URL by right-clicking. And what it should do is give it a second. It should kick into aria2. Yeah, this is aria2 connecting here. So what you can see here is this section here, CN3. What that means is free connections. So basically what it's doing is, suppose the download rate is normally 250 kilobits. What this is doing is it's opening multiple connections to download that file. So it's opening at 250, 250, 250, 750 kilobits instead of 250. Now, basically what you can see, this is going to take a little time. So what I'll do is I'll stop this in a second. But basically aria2 in conjunction with yt-dlp can actually be used to download videos that use a M3U file as well, which typically use lots of TS files. So you have like when you rip a DVD, you'll have TS files. You have the same sort of thing with M3U files. They're sort of made up of lots of bits. Same with Dash, which is what's used by YouTube. And basically what this will do is, if there are lots of little files, it will basically download all these files with aria2. And what you'll sometimes see listed here is it will see something like number of files 214 or something. That's basically, there are 214 chunks in the video, and basically what it will do is it will download those individually using aria2. But what you need to remember is that you don't want to do this on your desktop, because it would basically download like 214 files to your desktop, and then once it's finished downloading, it combines them all into a new video. So what I'll do is I'll just kill that by running Control-C there, and actually coming into the downloads, and let's just delete that. So you'd think that the move to trash would be here. It's not. It's this little thing here. Okay, so that's downloading a video. What you can also do is, say, you can download a torrent file. So if I download this torrent, I'm going to save this file. If I run ls, what you'll see here is Night of the Living Dead archive.torrent. If I run aria2 and that file, it will start to okay, why is that not working? That's strange. Don't know why aria2 is not. Oh, okay. Of course, you've got a.exe extension on Windows. So aria2.exe Night of the Living Dead torrent. And what you'll see here will say will allow access there. Okay, and as you can see here, it's actually downloading the way archive.org bundles their torrents. They bundle all their torrents into one file. So I'm just going to quit that. So as you can see, there's loads of individual files here, and that's why it's downloading a whole bunch of them at 5.2 gig. Unfortunately, there are several sort of command line front ends to aria2c, but by default, it doesn't have a way to pause or downloads or anything like that. But if you've got a let me just get rid of that. Move into the recycle bin. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't have a sort of way to pause stuff or anything. It's just like you run it and it downloads stuff. But aria2 can you can, if you've got a direct file link, you can also download that as well. So what you can either, if you've got a direct file link, you can either run yt-dlp and give it the video link. If it's like, as you can see, this is a link to an MP4, and then yt-dlp will hand that download off to aria2. But you can also just run aria2c and give it the link, and it will kick in straight away. So if I copy this link here, unlike in the Linux terminal, where you normally have to put single quotes around stuff, in the Windows terminal, the PowerShell, you just put stuff in without the links, without the quotes rather. And as you'll see here, what happens is it's going to kick in, and you see it's just downloading with one connection at the moment. Because I don't think I have aria2c configured to use multiple connections in my config, but I do in the yt-dlp config. So if I just come across, and can I open this with Notepad? I've got Notepad in, open with Notepad. Okay, so what you'll see here, these are the options for yt-dlp, --downloader, aria2c, --downloader -args, and this is how we specify the download args for yt-dlp to use aria2c. We use aria2c : and then single quotes -c -j3, so that's sort of like 3 connections, and we can sort of specify a maximum download rate. And so that's how yt-dlp will use aria2c as an external downloader to basically download videos or other files quicker, audio files or something. So very easy to set up. So let's go through the process again. You go to chocolatey, so Windows chocolatey, chocolatey.org, get started, follow the instructions on this page to install chocolatey, and basically after that what we did was you need to open the PowerShell as admin. So right click, run as administrator, yes. And then we ran choco install. You can specify multiple things to install at once. So we can do yt-dlp aria2, and that will install yt-dlp and aria2. Again, once we've done that, what we need to do is open the APPDATA directory where we're going to store the configuration files. So start menu, percent app data, okay, the file folder. You open that, come into here, and you create the yt-dlp and aria2 directories, folders you'd call them. And in there, in the yt-dlp folder, we have a config file. Again, that's the configuration for yt-dlp. And then in aria2, you have your aria2.conf file. And Windows, basically, because it's got a different file extension, it's like, you know, oh, you need a special kind of file, and you just need a special kind of app to open something with a .conf extension. Whereas on Linux, you know, file extensions don't matter. So you'd have to leave Notepad. See, it won't let me open that directly. Can I just drag that in? Let me drag that in. Yeah, there we go. So this is the aria2 configuration. Basically, you can have a look here, and this is where, you know, you can set stuff like ports for BitTorrent and other options. So that's the aria2 config, and the sites were yt-dlp, that, and aria2. That's aria2.github.io. Lightweight, multi-protocol and multi-source command line download utility. And then yt-dlp is the YouTube DL fork. Okay, so YouTube DL, see if it's actually been updated. See, last update was the 6th of June. So, you know, that's 5 months ago. It's still not been updated. So that's why this fork was created to fix a lot of bugs that have not been fixed since that date. And it's added lots of new features. So basically come through here and you know, read about the features and the settings. If you come down here, basically it will give you differences in the default behavior and the installation. So here's the installation. You can also install this with pip, but chocolatey is probably the easiest way to do this on Windows. And basically this will explain, you know, what the files are called, the dependencies, there's the usage, and if you scroll down here, it'll give you, like the download options, lots of other options, workaround video formats, subtitles. I think at the end, yeah, it gives you the configuration. Okay, so this is the configuration section, and this is the bit you want to pay attention to on Windows. This is the directory where the configuration file goes, as I showed you. AppData yt-dlp config. Put the config in there. Do the same for aria2c. And once you've done that, you'll get much faster download speeds. So I won't download anything from YouTube. Let's see if there's to get a bit funny about that. Archive.org, Big Buck Bunny. Okay, and we'll just come across and we'll just grab this link. this is just 40. This is 40 meg, so this would be a good quick test. So you can open the Windows terminal, or you can use the PowerShell. Basically, the Windows terminal will open PowerShell. CD downloads, and then basically run yt-dlp. What actually I'll do is show you how you can batch download stuff from a text file. So open up Notepad. Okay. Wait, was it open the same file again? Okay, and what we'll do is we'll paste that URL in there, and let's okay, that's another with the org video, and we'll download the org version as well. Okay. Okay, on separate lines, paste that in, and we'll save that as links.txt, and we'll save that into our downloads folder. Okay, if I come to the downloads folder, you can see we've got this links file. I'll just get rid of these. Right, so we've got the links file. I can close the browser now. So just list here. So if we do ls, you'll see we got links.txt. So what we're going to do is run yt-dlp-a links, and that's going to download stuff from that file. There are times when you might want to actually ignore the config. There are certain videos that sometimes don't play nicely with aria2 as an external downloader. So if you ever need to ignore your YouTube DL config, you run -- ignore, so you don't get, unlike on Linux, you don't get auto completion. Ignore config, and then a URL. So that's how you can, if aria2 as a downloader, an external downloader is giving you issues with a particular video or a particular site, you can ignore your config by running -- ignore -config and then the URL. But what I'll do now is, and you can have a look at the, if you just run -h, it should give you all the options. Yeah, so just run -h and it'll give you all the options. You can read through that. But what we want to do is download multiple videos from that text file. So basically, so what you do, create a text file, put the URLs, which can either be direct links to videos or to a video on a supported site. If you go to if you search for yt-dlp supported sites or extractors, it'll give you a list of all the sites that yt-dlp works on, which I'll do in a second and show you. But basically, you just put all the links to either the video files or the web pages in this text file. You run yt-dlp-exe-a links, and what that's going to do is going to kick in, and it's going to hand it off to aria2, and you can always tell it's aria2 by this format here, and you can see 3 connections, download speed 900 kilobits, estimated time of arrival, it's going to be about 45 seconds or so, and you can see the percentage going up. So I'm just going to leave this to kick in, and as you can see, it will basically sort of max out your connection to download it. Sometimes this actually drops and then goes up again, but while it's doing that, what I'll do is come across yt-dlp supported sites. Okay, I should have said supported sites, but if you come across here, this will give you a list of the supported sites. So you can see this is a long list. These are all the sites that yt-dlp works on. So you can see this is the A's. I just scrolling down. It even works on BBC iPlayer, sometimes on ITV, not Channel 4 because that's DRM'd. There's loads and loads of different sites. Works on Vimeo, Dailymotion. So you can see this list goes on and on and on and on. So you can basically, check which sites are supported, as well as there's a lot of not safe for work sites there as well. But that's a list of supported sites. And as you can see here, it's now downloading the OGV file, which is the what's that from? OGG file. So what you'll see here is as it's downloading, what you typically get with aria2 is it will have a .part extension. You can change this so it just downloads straight into a video file with the correct extension if you want, but by default what it does is it creates these part files, and then once it's finished downloading, what it does is it recombines them all into a video file with the correct extension. So you can see here 987654321. It's going to be done in a second at 90%. You can see using 3 connections here. Okay, and as you can see there, I don't know why I got this thing. It just can't show you the files. It's ridiculous. Like a normal, file manager. But you can see here. Here's the MP4 and here's the MK, the OGV. I've got VLC installed. Open with. I don't think I've actually got VLC installed on this virtual machine. Let's see if that works with the Windows Media Player. Oh, and let's not, because that's just really irritating. I mean, it's just a video player and it's just asking us loads of stuff. But I could, if I want to install VLC with chocolatey, I'd come across here, open that as administrator, choco search VLC, and you can see VLC listed here, approved. So I could just do choco install VLC, and again it's going to prompt you to accept the license usually at some point, and you just do Y or A. And using chocolatey to install your software on Windows is better than, in my opinion, is better than actually manually going out to loads of websites and downloading stuff. Because, for example, if you've installed Firefox just by downloading it, if I come across here, normally if you want to update Firefox on Windows or Mac, what you got to do is you got to come across here and you sort of go to help about Firefox, and it goes like checking for updates, and then it will say, oh yeah, there's an update, and you click OK and it will download the update. So it's a real pain to update Firefox on Windows and Mac, because you kind of got to go manually about Firefox and then do that. Whereas if you install all your software with chocolatey, so I've got Chrome, Firefox, and yt-dlp and other applications like aria2 installed with chocolatey, you can just do choco update all. It will check if there's new updates, prompt you to accept the license. You click yes or all, and basically it will download everything. So we go A for here. Doesn't need to be a capital. No, it doesn't need to be a capital A. And so this is a really good way to basically update all your software at once. So rather than having to open VLC, check for update, open Firefox, check for update, open Chrome, check for update. Okay, we can see that's installed now. So let's open VLC, yes, continue, and we should just be able to drag this in. And you can see that's now playing. Incidentally, you can see the title comes up. There's actually a option somewhere in the preferences. I think it's in the video. There's an option somewhere to disable that. Basically, it's like show title, maybe hidden in the advanced preferences or something. It used to be sort of, I don't know, here, subtitles OSD, to the on-screen display. Show media title on video start. So if you uncheck that and click save, and stop that. And if I do this again, drag that in, you see it plays without that annoying title. I can put that full screen. You see, it's a really low quality version of Big Buck Bunny. But basically, you get the idea. You can use yt-dlp in combination with aria2 as a external downloader to triple your download speeds. And again, work with loads of different files, aria2 and it will either yt-dlp can either hand off direct links to video files, or a video in a page in a supported site, which can either be dash video or something with M3U files, loads of different stuff, and basically it will download everything for you in triple the time, which is good. And again, if you want to update stuff, what you do, if you want to update yt-dlp in aria2, basically what you do is you come across to the PowerShell, right click, run as administrator. What you do is you run choco update all. Okay. And you can see here, these are all the applications I've got installed with Chocolatey. So aria2, it's listing Chocolatey, obviously. I've got FFmpeg, Firefox, Google Chrome, Notepad++, VLC, yt-dlp. And so that's how you update everything you've installed with Chocolatey. Open the PowerShell, admin, and then just run choco update all. There's an update, it will say, do you want to accept the license? Just type A, press return. And then when you want to download stuff, you don't run it as administrator. You can just either open the PowerShell or the Windows terminal, come into your downloads folder, or wherever it is, run yt-dlp.exe. And again, if you want to ignore your configuration file, you run --ignore -config. And then a URL. So if I was to just grab, let's just grab that file again, and I'll show you it downloading with yt-dlp without aria2 as an external downloader. Night of the Living Dead. Have to accept the doodah. Of course, here again. Day, please. And of course, now it's going to hang, isn't it? It's today. Let's try another one. See if it's just archive.org being, is it maybe archive.org suddenly gone down? Yeah, Like I've all gone down or something. Right, one more time. Okay, it's decided to throw a wobbly. But basically, you'd run yt-dlp.exe --ignore config, and then you'd have I still got the still got one of the URLs there. Handy. Okay, so if I press return now, it's going to request a header. And actually, it's not going to work because obviously yt-dlp is down, so you can see requesting header, nothing's happening. But if yt-dlp hadn't suddenly, if archive.org hadn't suddenly decided to go down in the middle of the demo, what would happen is, okay, yeah, interrupted by user, yeah, I know. It would start downloading that file without directly with YouTube yt-dlp instead of aria2. So that's how you ignore the config. And again, if you've got a, you can create a text file with links on each line, and then basically you just run yt-dlp-a and then the links file, and it will download each of those videos one after another using aria2 as a external downloader. And as I showed you in the config, you can set multiple connections. So basically it will download at triple the download speed, which is great because you just have a text file of load of, URLs for either direct links or videos on supported sites. It's just going to go down, download them all one after another into the directory. Now you can, by default, when you download stuff, it's going to download it into the directory that you started the terminal in. So if you download something, you start, if you're in your downloads folder and you start to download something, that's where it's going to download to. But open this up again. yt-dlp. Come across here, and what you want to do is read the documentation. So download options, configuration, output template. So basically what you want to do is read the output template. So you can either use the output template on the command line with the -o option, or you can actually put those options in your yt-dlp config file to actually specify the naming convention used when it's creating the files. So you can have like, it's on some streaming site, might be something like, the title, the user who's uploaded it, and the date or something. And you can also specify a default directory to actually download videos into, so that, if you've got a videos downloads folder or something, and you start download, you can start, basically what that means is wherever you start the yt-dlp exe, it's going to default to downloading into that directory as opposed to the directory you launched the exe in. That makes sense. So if you want to change stuff, RTFM, look at the output template, read through all that. This gives you basically all the options that you can use in the output template, which will basically create files according to this sort of naming convention. So you can have it with the title, you can put the description in it, loads of stuff. But that's basically how you change the download location and the way that the downloaded files are named. So if that's what you want to do, read that. And again, the configuration is in APPDATA, Okay, so that's still going. I thought I paused it. Sorry about that. So that's basically the lowdown on running yt-dlp and aria2 on Windows 11 and installing it all with chocolatey. So that's all for now. Hope that helps you Windows users who were baffled by my yt-dlp video that was on Linux. But a lot of people tried to follow along on Windows, which is to me slightly amusing. But I thought I'd just do one for you Windows users just so don't feel left out.